SML, what's going on? How we doing? It's the start of Madden 24, and we are here on SML Take 1.5. I am Fazz's Rome is Burning. Joining me is my co-host Stephen D. Mues. My friend, how are we doing?
We're doing great. I'm ready. I'm ready to get this show on the road. I hope everyone enjoys this debut episode, and we've got some stuff coming your way.
Yeah, debut episode, so we're going to give you a quick little rundown slash a disclaimer. There's going to be a disclaimer. For being honest here, the SML landscape of shows has been a little different these days. We're getting a lot of lovey-dovey. We're getting a lot of I respect Matt. We're getting a lot of I respect Matt. We're getting a lot of spread the love. And yeah, I'm gonna shoot straight with you. We're not gonna do that here. You see what we're going for on SML Take 1.5. You see the branding. So yeah, this is gonna be your warning. This is your disclaimer. If you're one of the few people that might not be a fan of myself or Stephen D here, maybe close the YouTube. Might not be for you, but we're gonna have some fun here. We're gonna have some laughs. So if you go past this, all bets are off. And if you hate it, I don't know, complain to Prime. Maybe he'll kick us off the airwaves. Might be a short show, but kicking things off. Topic 1: the NFL. The NFC is lacking, to say the least, in talent in comparison. The SML sort of obviously kind of follows this. The AFC has a lot more of the stacked teams. You've got some of the bigger guys there, the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes. So, the SML, maybe the NFC is lacking so far is what we're seeing. Stephen D., kick us off. What do you think the state of the NFC is in the SML?
You hit the nail right on the head there. The real talent discrepancy in the real NFL, so it's not going to be any different here in Madden. The teams are worse. Some would argue the users are worse. And while the high-end talent might not be there, let me ask you a question.
Let's hear it.
Have you ever stepped on an anthill?
Have I ever stepped on an anthill? I have. I have stepped on an anthill.
How'd that feel?
I didn't notice it. The only reason I know is because I got sand on my shoes.
My analogy's not going to work then.
Oh, well, then, you know what? We'll change it up. I have not stepped on an anthill. Never once. Totally missed them. Or at least I didn't notice.
Never stepped on an anthill. Was it a fire anthill? Let me add that discrepancy.
I have
I'm going to assume it was not.
I know where we're going. I have never, ever stepped on a fire anthill. That was drilled in my head from a young age. You don't step on those things.
Perfect. So you might not have a big predator like a lion in the NFC, but there's a bunch of little fire ants that can get you. You know, you have guys like Dom and the Saints. You have Meats in Dallas. You have
Meats
Straw in Los Angeles. A bunch of guys who can get you. And you know what's going to happen? All these NFC guys, we're going to be playing each other all cycle. We're just going to beat up on each other. It's going to be probably some different representatives in the Super Bowl than you're used to. I'm assuming there's not going to be like a long-running dynasty in the NFC, like not the same team every year. The Super Bowl's one game. It's one game. That's all it is. And I'm willing to bet there are enough guys in the NFC that can beat someone from the AFC in one game. At the end of the cycle, we're not going to look back on this as some tragedy in the SML. We're not going to look in this as some dark period. I think it's going to be a fun cycle. We're going to see some different matchups. And that talent gap that exists, I think early on in the cycle with the quarterback discrepancy, the roster discrepancy between the teams, it might be a little worse off. But as that talent discrepancy slowly and surely gets chipped away, I think the back half of the cycle will be a lot of fun.
So you think the NFC's got some life in it? You think there's something in the NFC worth watching?
Look, completely biased take. I've grown up an NFC guy. I mean, since I was even smaller than I am now, which is not easy to do, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the NFC's got some life. I didn't even mention Matt or Bomber, who have won in this league before, respected ownership groups. So I do. I think the NFC has some life. That's my take. And I think we're going to look back on this and feel we overreacted a bit.
You think we? Oh yeah. You see, I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of life in that NFC, man. I'm not seeing it. I gotta be honest. There's some talent. You mentioned, Dom with the Saints. There's some talent there. He's kind of always been in that next level, next man up. But boy, Saints team are bad. They're bad. Not a lot there. Quarterback spot doesn't look too good. He's paying Taysom Hill $1 million. Not good. Defense pretty old.
More than $1 million.
A lot more than $1 million. Many millions for Taysom Hill. He's paying him. He's got to spend like 3 seasons just tearing the Saints down just to get him into a good spot to make a run. Straw is a guy that I've been a big advocate of. Same thing. He's just got to gut that team for a little bit. He's run out there with Stetson Bennett. He's like a 45-year-old rookie. What are we doing? What are we gonna do with Stetson Bennett? He's not gonna be bad enough to draft a quarterback. He's in some trouble.
Brandon Whedon, shout out.
Yeah, Brandon. Oh goodness. Bombers in Chicago. This guy. Bombers a good player. Bombers had some good runs. Bombers never once developed a quarterback in the SML. Never once. He's had some good ones. He's never once developed one. So we'll see what he does with Fields there. Matt, that guy just talks about how bad he is. So, we'll see. Seahawks, decent team. Again, won't be bad enough to get himself a quarterback stuck with Geno. He's got to figure out something there. I think the NFC, by the time these guys, the Doms, the Straw Blacks, the Bombers, can get their teams kind of built up, the AFC is at such an advantage. What, you think you're going to catch up to the Chiefs now that Klink's got, 3 seasons to build the Chiefs around Mahomes? I don't know how you're going to catch up. I don't know how you're going to fix the talent discrepancy. I don't know if you can get there.
It'll get there. I'm confident in that. I mean, you're mentioning Klink here. I mean, big life change in this guy's life.
Yeah.
He just had a baby. I mean, I don't know. I've never had a child, so I don't know how that would impact one. But I'd like to imagine that child's going to be cradled more than that Chiefs roster will be. I pray that that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, we hope so. Although, his wife, huge Chiefs fan, she might be more invested in the old SML Chiefs here. Got to make sure that, they're getting Super Bowls everywhere. But that's the problem with the AFC. Klink, he's got the Chiefs. He's got Pat Mahomes. He's not even the guy that we're worried about. You're worried about the Primes. You're worried about Fazz. You're worried about Q with the Chargers. When are the Chargers going to get worse? With Q using Herbert? Oh, I don't know how you're going to catch these guys. I don't know how the NFC is going to do it. That's my worry. Is that, we might get some guys that build up some teams and they make a nice little run. It'll be cool. But then they get there and, you're going up against Prime, who's had 2 seasons to build the Colts. You're going up against Fazz, who's had 2 seasons to build the Jags. You're going up against the Chargers, who didn't have to be built at all. It's a scary proposition.
It's one game, and I never said the AFC was going to get worse, but the NFC will get better. Those rosters are in rough shape right now. That conference is awful. There's no quarterbacks in it. I mean, almost none. I don't know. I don't know what everyone's plan is. I know this is a quarterback-heavy draft. We're looking at these scouts. We're listening to the scouts. Mm-hmm. They're saying there are quarterbacks coming. Not for everyone. Some people are going to get left out of that. But eventually, that tide will turn a little bit. We'll get some draft luck. And things will change. And again, it's just one game. No one in the NFC has to run through the AFC gauntlet from the wild card through the Super Bowl. It's just one game.
Yeah, and you're definitely gonna get some AFC guys that are, they're burnt out, they're beat up. They just came off, 3 insanely difficult playoff games. The 1 seed, he's gonna come off his bye week and face QP first. That's not a lot of fun. So it's a possibility you get those kind of weary thumbs. Okay, assuming 8 seasons in a cycle, we're gonna pray that we don't blip. It seems like the game can function saving things. It can't function much else. Definitely nothing defensively. But it seems to be able to save, so hopefully we won't blip. So assuming 8 cycles or 8 seasons, how many Super Bowls does the NFC win?
3.
Oh, give me the under. Give me the under. I might be generous and give them 1.
We might be jumping segments here. This is a cycle long take, but give me 3. We'll follow up on this.
We'll follow. All right. So put a bookmark in that. Put a bookmark in that. We'll be back to it. It's gonna lead us into our second here, and this is
one more thing. And it's on the line. I need one conference. Give me the NFC.
Woo! The guy's nuts. Stephen D. I don't know. Stephen D.
Look. It is what it is.
Oh, Mr. Mues. I think you're missing on that one. I think you're missing. This is going to be an AFC cycle. You can mark it down. Mark it down. We're 1 week into the season. It's going to be an AFC cycle. I mean, Matt's already scared of us. You know, you look at his things in chat. He was too scared to play Clink. I heard Fazz was pretty scared to play Clink. The guy looked pretty freaking good in week 1, playing against somebody in the NFC, Paulie, who people thought, maybe he'll make a playoff run. He's got to score more than 7 points in a game where you can't play any defense first. So, that's not a good look for the NFC so far.
I said it's going to be a later cycle thing.
Later cycle thing. All right, so we're looking at season 6 and 7 and 8. But we've got a list coming at you. Topic 2 is going to be the Stephen D list. What do you have for us on the Stephen D list this week?
Stephen's D list is not a place you want to be. Let me get that out of the way. This is our first one. It's not an A list, not a B list, not even a C list. It's a D list, and it would be an F list, but we've all seen that there are no failing grades here in the SML. So, we're going with our 5 worst team draft selections of this SML cycle. And the 5th one, this one hurts. This one hurts. Some are going to call it unfair. They're going to call it unjust, unfair. But look, it's a worst list. The worst team has to be on this list. Rams, Strawback, Blacks, pick 32. You got stuck with them. Should have got called up quicker. I don't know what to tell you, but you got the worst team in the game. That belongs on Stephen's D list. That's number 5.
And they're the worst team in like recent memory. Like I feel like the 0-16 Browns had more life than that Rams team. They're hard to look at. Because I was an advocate for the Rams last cycle. In this cycle, I took one look and nope, I'm good. Pass. Nothing can save this team. Bad.
Stetson Bennett surely can't. So.
No.
At least I don't think so. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. But at 4, we're going to the complete opposite side of the draft. We're going almost right to the top, and we're going Bomber, taking the Bears at pick 2. I live in Chicago. I hate the Bears. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but look, what talent? What talent's there? You have Justin Fields, Ohio State guy. I get it. Why wouldn't you have taken him his rookie year? Why are we taking him year 2? I know he's a little better. You have some draft capital. There's a lot of holes in this team, specifically on defense. And you had your selection of any team pretty much in the NFL besides those Indianapolis Colts.
Which you wouldn't want
The
anyway.
Bears? The Bears? I don't see it. I just don't see it. We'll see. That's a good ownership group. That's the only thing keeping it down at 4. It could be higher.
Yeah.
Good ownership group. Long track record of success. So some benefit of the doubt there, but I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
No. So I'm going to 3 now. We're switching gears again. We're going near the bottom. The Tennessee Titans. A terrible 2-step. Not the cream of the crop at pick 26. But that division is going to be rough. Arguably, maybe inarguably, the best division of the cycle. That team was open for a reason. No one wanted to be there. In steps terrible 2-step. Early in the season's had some success against the NFC South. Could have gone Bucks. Could have gone Browns. A lot of talent there. No. We're going Titans. And we're basically penciling in 6 losses per season. And a lot of them, maybe all of them, will not be pretty. Tough to justify that pick. And there's no quarterback there. So, I mean, Will Levis, sure. Good luck. Eric Henry, his Madden life is real close to the end here. I don't know. I don't see it. That's the 3rd worst pick.
Yeah, he's begging Derrick Henry to stick around as long as possible. 8 seasons, 6 games a season in the division. How many do you think he gets to double-digit division wins through the entire cycle? I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I mean,
No
like,
chance.
unless you count the ones where Fazz, is gallivanting across some other country. He gets a couple force wins in there maybe, but I don't see many where he loads up the game, presses the X button to start against another user and wins the game in the AFC South. I think it's going to be a long go.
Long go. Signed up for unnecessary heartbreak and frustration there.
Yeah.
Wow, this number 2 on my list. This hurts. This hurts. A lot of applause when this pick came around. Woo, good job, good job. Whatever, whatever. I'm not buying it, and I'm gonna tell you why. But my number 2, double rice no bean, going to the New England Patriots, hometown team. Can I just list you off the 3 teams that went after the New England Patriots in this team draft?
I know it's not pretty because I'm pretty sure one of them near directly after is the Chiefs.
These are the direct 3 picks. So that was pick 14 was the Patriots. These are picks 15, 16, and 17.
Okay.
You got
up.
the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, God.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, God.
And the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, God. Oh. First off, you get one that's in your division that you now have to chase around Josh Allen. Then you get Patrick Mahomes, who is a literal god among men. And then you get the easy conference with the second best team in that conference. Oh, and you took the Pats. Oh, there ain't nobody over there. There's nothing to be excited about with that squad.
Look, some have said there's no bigger Mac Jones guy than Stephen D. Mues. And look, big fan of the guy. He's looked good so far. But look, Bill Belichick does not draft Madden rosters. He does not sign Madden rosters. He does not care. These guys are not.
He doesn't even put himself in the game. He doesn't want to be in Madden
views.
himself. He's out.
He wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You don't even get Bill Belichick. You don't even get to go on the sideline. It's tough. I think he's gonna be fine with how the division rolled out, but tough pill to swallow when you think of those 3 teams that go directly after them.
Yeah, you're going to be watching a lot of streams thinking, man, I could have had that, and I'm sitting here with Kyle Duggar.
Exactly. And speaking of homecomings, look, homecomings will get you a news story. They'll get you some applause, some congratulations. It'll warm some hearts. But you know what it doesn't do? It's not win you football games. It's not going to win you preseason games. Not going to win you regular season games. It's definitely not winning you playoff games or a Simbardi. The number 1, it's another homecoming. I'm going with the Saints at pick 8. Same logic applies, except there's no cap space. The cap situation's a disaster. The quarterback isn't young. You have no chance of developing him. Derek Carr, that's who you're tying your wagon to. And it's the same argument, except the 4 picks after the Saints were the Dolphins, Jaguars, Bengals, and Ravens. I mean, you add in the Bills, Chiefs, and 49ers. That's 7 elite Madden rosters, elite talent on those teams, and this guy went with the Saints. God bless your heart, but there hasn't been an uglier scene in New Orleans since Katrina, and it's gonna take a while to get this thing turned around.
That's enough to make a grown man cry. That's painful. There's the D list. It's a lot of bad decisions. So again, you don't want to be on the D list in future episodes here. If you think you might be, and you get to that point in the show, maybe run the other direction. We're going to close things out, though. Of course, what is SML Take 1.5 without doing something scorching to wrap this thing up? So, Stephen D., give me your cycle-long hot take. Where are you planting your flag for the Madden 24 cycle in the SML?
This hurts. Great guy. Great guy. I've met him. Had dinner with him. But the Indianapolis Colts, the winningest franchise in SML history, they're not winning a Simbardi this cycle.
Wow.
Not only that, they're not getting to the Super Bowl this cycle.
Wow, that's scorching. We're on fire.
The fan's not going strong enough. But
I need to turn mine on.
I mean, look. You look at it. You have the GOAT. This is Tom Brady, 2010 range. Super Bowls in the rearview mirror. He's what? at that point. He'd be like 32, 33. Oh, the Patriots need their QB of the future. This guy's getting up there. His talent's falling off, and he goes out and he wins a lot more Super Bowls. I think it was 4 more,
Yeah, like
including one at
way
like
too many
44.
more. It felt like 12 more.
And some people, Matt, are gonna come at me and say
He's already turned the
that
show
this
off.
is
You don't
that
have to worry
situation.
about him. He closed the show. It's over. He turned it off.
Disclaimers were for you, my friend.
Yep.
But let's just look at this logically. Anthony Richardson, an unknown. Some raw skills. He's got size and speed. Those are great. But you need a big throw in the Super Bowl. It's going to take a lot of development to get Anthony Richardson in that spot. Be able to.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Episode 1 of the show. We might have lost Stephen D. All right, we're
Go.
Oh, you're back.
I'm here.
You're back. He's back.
Here.
Your take was so hot that you actually broke the show.
I didn't even know I went anywhere. Oh man. Okay. Where'd you lose me?
I lost you right at Anthony Richardson not being able to make a big throw in the Super Bowl.
You got a lot to see. You know who can make big throws in the Super Bowl? I'm pretty confident in it. Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. Those guys, I know for a fact, will make big throws in the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship game, in the AFC Divisional Round. Keep going down. The AFC's loaded. We talked about it earlier in the show. I have questions in Indianapolis, and that is where I'm planting my flag. That is Stephen D's take of the cycle.
Boy, and that's going to be a fun one. I mean, you just gave the guy, ultimate bulletin board material. I do know you're not the first to make this claim for a cycle. We'll see if you're the first successful one to do it. Prime's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot. He's got Fazz in the division. He's got Dan in the conference. He's got QP in the conference. We've talked about the AFC, top to bottom. There's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of good teams, and the Colts are probably the worst of those teams. Maybe they're better than the Steelers. You could probably you might be able to make that argument. You'd have to really look into it.
Yep, and that's looking at an ownership level. You're leaving out Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, like the.
Well,
the
it's easy to leave out Josh
field.
Allen. Unfortunately, his career was nuked once the team selection pick was
really
in.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still one game.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot more talent in the AFC. The schedules are going to be harder.
Yep.
Even the lower seeded playoff teams are going to have good teams. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we haven't even brought up the Joe Burrow factor. We haven't even brought up the Dolphins receivers. Who in Indianapolis is going to cover Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? Sure, it's Fins. He hasn't had a ton of success passing the ball in the SML, but it's pretty easy to throw streaks when both your receivers have 99 speed. So it's definitely going to be a bloodbath in the AFC. We'll see. My take is also actually staying in the AFC. We did not plan this before we recorded the show. However, I'm taking a very different approach. Very different approach here. I've been kind of high on this guy for a little bit. I think one might remember in Madden 21, I planted my flag on terrible two-step in the AFC North. He made me regret it all cycle. So I'm no stranger to this kind of decision, this kind of take. I'm planting my flag in the AFC East because my scorching hot take of the cycle, AFC East division champion at least one time, KJ Slander. I'm saying it. KJ Slander wins the AFC East one time. One time.
Fire out. Wow.
One time he does it. Look at this division. It ain't pretty. We talked about Fins. I'm a big Fins fan. I love Fins. Great guy. Good Canadian guy. I love Fins. Not a ton of SML success. I'm looking at Figs, and you know what, buddy? We know what we're getting out of Figs. He's already given up on Josh Allen. It's 2 games. He already said he might not win a game the entire cycle, I think he said. So, I mean, Figs he's calling Engage 8. He's calling Engage 8 already. We don't really have to worry about that one. And obviously Beans. Beans is, he's a pretty consistent SML playoff guy. He's a guy that, we've seen success. But here's the thing with Beans. You give him an early lead, that's exactly where you want him. He chokes it every time. This is a guy who has won one playoff game. I think he won one now. So he has officially won one playoff game out of too many tries. We have seen him choke big leads. We have seen him choke big division leads. This is the biggest division lead he's ever had, and it's before he even stepped on the field. Everybody expects him to just come in and dog walk the AFC East. And, hey, you know what? Pressure's on him. I think he folds a couple times. I do. I think he drops some games he shouldn't. He's been working a lot. He's traveling a lot. There's some hotel games in there. There's some issues. And let's be honest, Patriots roster, what are you excited about when you look at that team? Nothing. You couldn't find anything to be excited about on that team. They stink. They're terrible. Cole Strange, what do I care? That team is bad. So he's got some work to do there. KJ, he's got the Jets, up-and-coming squad. He's got Garrett Wilson. He's got a great defense. He's got a ball control offense that will lull you to sleep because you're playing late. It's KJ o'clock. Beans doesn't want to play at KJ o'clock. He's got work in the morning. So, hey.
One does.
You know what? I think KJ's got a shot. I think one time. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going to say he's going to sweep the thing. I'm not saying he's going to win 3. I'm not even saying he's going to have multiple, seasons where he's super far above 500. But I think one time, I think the stars align. I think the Jets kind of take over. KJ figures it out a little bit. I think KJ wins the AFC East one time this cycle. Mark it down.
That's oh man. Look, I have 2 things to say about KJ. Again, great man. I've had dinner with the guy. I had drinks. 1, he'll never say no to a shot, which means he's willing to try anything, I think. So
he sure will.
He's definitely gonna give it a run. The second is, no matter how many times he gets knocked down or falls off of something, he's gonna get right back up. He's gonna get right back up, and he's gonna fight through it. Exactly. So, read my mind. He's gonna get right back up, and he's gonna keep going for it. So, I saw this guy play basketball on a broken ankle once. So I'm not doubting him, but man, that would be something. I think that would be good for the SML.
Oh, it would be beautiful for the SML. I mean, can you imagine the playoff audience? KJ loads up. KJ Slander. It's KJ season. Loads up for his first playoff game in the SML. He's probably playing against Prime. Actually, no, he would win the division. Actually, he might be playing against Prime because it would be either probably me or him is most likely the 5 seed in the AFC. I said me. I broke character. Frick. It's either Fazz or Prime is the 5 seed in the AFC. So he's loading up. It's his first playoff game. It's KJ versus Prime. Oh my goodness. How many watchers do you think we have? We're in the 60s. You get both the full SML. You get all primer. Heck yeah, I'm in for it. Give me some popcorn.
Especially when it's season 8 and Prime hasn't made a Super Bowl yet.
Oh yeah, and then everybody's on the edge of their seats. I mean, Matt's praying to every god he can find, sacrificing women and children to try and get Prime there. So
I have some books I can send to you, Matt, if you need them. Just let me know.
About human sacrifices or
anything he needs.
Okay,
whatever he thinks he's going to take.
Stephen D's got you covered. Whatever you need. I'm not endorsing what I just heard. But hey, we said this show was going to be wild, and you got it. Human sacrifices on deck. SML Take 1.5. Let's get it, boys. You have anything else, or are we wrapping up on human sacrifices?
I really wish we weren't wrapping up on human sacrifices, but look, this will be fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay off of Steven's D list.
Stay off of Steven's D list and stay away from his house. You might get kidnapped, and that might be the last we ever hear of you. Who knows? But hey, it's been fun. We'll see you next time. This has been SML Take 1.5.